Hello, welcome to Tarot and Oracle for the Soul. My name is Sarah, and I am doing a Let's Go Shopping VR to Mystic Man. She was sent in these prompts by a viewer. So let's get into it. The first shop we're headed to is the Bakery, a deck that is warm, cozy, and familiar. So that would be my Spiral Tarot that I purchased. This is my first tarot deck that I purchased for myself after learning the Thoth. And so this is one of my oldest and most trusted decks that I own. And I really love it. It is Thoth based. So you can see the glyphs, the sigils here. Yes, this deck is warm and cozy to me. It's familiar. It's, enough like the Thoth that I was able to read with it. I love the vibrant colors. I love the fact that it has spirals. I love spirals. So this deck to me just felt a lot more gentle, a lot more comfortable to use than the Thoth. And I actually really like the purple borders, and I like that everything's labeled clearly. For me, it kind of has an old-fashioned feel, yet also kind of new. So it's a cool juxtaposition. You can see that word, with the blues and the purples. And then we have, the dolphins, which I love dolphins. And just the paintings are just very nice. Our next stop is the Candy Shop. A deck that has bright colors, is sweet and fun. So I have to show off this deck. This is a V Love and Crystals deck by V. And it is her eye candy oracle. I mean, look at how beautiful the backs are. Just so fun. And then I'll just show some of my favorite cards. I love that we have sour worms for flexibility. These are my favorite candies. Ugh, like love those. And Insanity, we have lollipops. We have divination, clutter, insight, integrity, concealment, reunion. We've got tea for gossip, and I love that teacup. Just how bright these colors are. A wedding cake for commitment. We have a cup of coffee for restless. And then we have these little cupcakes here with different colors, with the sprinkles and the cherry on top, the candy cherry. I love this for emptiness. You have an empty ice cream cone fusion. And then we have seasons in here, winter, spring, fall. We even have that Death by Chocolate. And it's cute. There's a pumpkin in the background. And then for autumn, we have pumpkin pie. One of my favorite pies. And then we have the yin and yang with the pink and the blue. See, here's another card for the seasons. We have summer. So I love that we have cinnamon sticks for our manifestation. Cake, we have prosperity. Childhood, we just have a slice of toast with some blueberries and some fruit. It's just really cute. Divine Feminine, represented by raspberries. Dissolve, cotton candy, alignment with macaroons, nourishment, a cup of milk, profession. So yeah, these are just really bright. I love the disco ball here. Gingerbread family for family. So yeah, you get the idea. These cards are just so bright and fun. So I had to show this Oracle deck for the candy shop. All right, our next stop is the Florist. And this will be a green or herbal deck. Now I've done VRs, I've done show us your green and herbal decks. I've done whole videos. So I was trying to think of a deck that I have not featured. I'm trying to use decks that I have not shown before, have not featured. And this was an impulse buy. I saw this last October up in Santa Fe at Barnes & Noble's. And I bought it without seeing any flip throughs. This is another just impulse buy. I don't love this book. This is the book and it folds out. It's just not practical. But y'all, look at the inside of the box. I love this green and black with the skull face and the bat wings. Like, absolutely love this packaging. The booklet is a no. But the cards are great. And look at the backs. I love the backs. The cards are a little thick and a little, like, they've got that kind of very smooth, almost rose petal finish, which I don't love. But I love the backs of these cards. And it captures the essence of the Beetlejuice movie. And you know what, y'all? I actually enjoyed Beetlejuice. I thought it was a fun movie. So it's, you know, the backs are green, the inside of the box is green. It's green, purple, white, and black. We have black borders with lined in green, and then of course we have Beetlejuice's green moldy hair. We've got this green ghost for death. For the King of Swords, we kind of have this green hue in the background as well. Back here, it's kind of greenish brown. So yeah, I was trying to think outside of the box. You know, I don't want to show all the same cards in every VR that I do. That just wouldn't be fun. People would be like, okay, we get it. You have your favorites. Here's another king card that's kind of, you know, a green hue. Everything kind of has that ectoplasm kind of overlay, green overlay, which is cool. You know, honestly, I really have not used this deck in readings. I'm kind of waiting for next September, well, this October to use it for readings. I mean, I know I don't necessarily use my Halloween decks just for Halloween, but this summer here for us has been very wet and for us, like, very cool. So you would think I'd be like, oh, you know, it's kind of like fall weather. It's wet and cool and overcast. You would think I'd be in bed reading a lot, but I haven't. I've been editing videos and watching videos and trying to come up with ideas of videos to film and, you know, stories to share with y'all. I had wanted to take the month of June off, take a break, but that didn't happen. That is my green deck. Even look at the box. This is so cool. With the green, the light green and the dark green stripes. I love this image. It's not very green, but I love that card. With Lydia Dietz. So yeah, did you all see Beetlejuice? Did you like it? I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Like, I think the first one's fun too. All right, now we are off to the pet shop, an animal or nature-based deck. This will be another deck of mine that I've had since I've started reading cards. This is Lisa Hunt's Animal Divine. I didn't go grab the book. I didn't keep the packaging for my decks that I got a long time ago. I really kind of wish I still had the packaging for this, but why? Tuck boxes are the bane of my existence. So this has a nice book, but since I'm just showing cards and not doing walkthroughs, I didn't go grab the book. I use this. This was my go-to, even though I had this one in the spiral. I love animals. I love animal decks. There's gods, goddesses. So we have Spider Woman. We have Gaia. We have Odin. We have mystical creatures like the Thunderbird. We have the mouse and crane, mistress of animals, which my friend in Phoenix would say, that was me. The ladybug, I love ladybugs, and fox, Zeus, Horus, white buffalo calf woman. So yeah, it's a really good mix. I love this deck of gods, goddesses, animals. All animals. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards. We have spirals, as you can see the spiral. So like all my favorite things, spirals, animals, the artwork is absolutely gorgeous. I love Lisa Hunt decks. I've been wanting to get the lavender, I think it's like the Lavender Fields one by her. Look at this seal card. And I'm on the fence with her fairy tale deck that was reissued. I never purchased it because at the time, when I purchased this, I wasn't a collector. I was just trying to find my deck. And when I purchased this one, again, I hadn't seen the cards. I just saw Animals Divine and was like, oh, the artwork is beautiful. And I really feel drawn to this deck. And then also with the spiral, I felt drawn to that. So I didn't really, you know, Tarot Tube, again, wasn't a thing for me, at least. YouTube wasn't really even a thing for me back then. So collecting Lisa Hunt decks wasn't really on my list of things to do. I had my 2 decks plus my Thoth and my Rider-Waite-Smith, and I was like, that's all I need. I had some Oracle decks, some that I had purchased and some that were given to me, and I was happy. My friends and I, we just read with what we had. Next is we are headed to the antique shop, a deck you've had the most history with. The Phoenix Cards by Susan Shepard, illustrated by Tony Taylor, is a past life deck, and I used to have so much fun with this, and I've done so many past life regressions on myself, and so I know quite a few of my past lives. When I was pulling this out, I was like, oh my goodness, I want to start playing with this again. I haven't used this in a long time because I do past life regressions with hypnosis now, more than using the cards. I don't really need to use the cards, I know. So I've had a past life. I've had past lives in Atlantis and Lemuria. I was a priestess in both of those past lives and literally went down with the ship. In Atlantis, I was with other priestesses and we were trying to meditate to raise the frequency to save our civilization. And the waves just came in and we drowned. And then that was Lemuria, sorry. And then Atlantis, same thing. I was a priestess and I saw the waves coming in and I was like, I'm not waiting. So I just walked out into the sea, into the ocean. and let it take me away. So that's 2 lives. And then I had a dream. I'm really, really, really attracted to Hinduism. I took the Goddess in India and Beyond in college, and I love Indian food. I love the colors in their clothes. I love saris. I took Indian dance, the goddess in India. So I did Kuchipudi, which is traditional Indian dance. Ugh, I love Indian music and dance, and it's just so beautiful. So at that time, I had a dream where I was a child bride, and it was my wedding night. And I think my familiar at that time in that life was a tiger, and a tiger came up to me, and my new husband wanted to kill the tiger, and he tried to shoot the tiger with an arrow, and I jumped in front of the tiger and saved the tiger, and of course I died. And a really good friend of mine at the time was like, oh my gosh, I was the tiger. So we had been in that life together. She was the tiger, I saved her. So that was a cool, that resonated with her when I was telling her after I had that dream about that past life. I've had past lives in the Southwest before. I was a Native American. I was a dancer. My teacher had this deck, the one who taught me tarot, and we were doing like past life regressions, and we were doing she was teaching us the whole like magical system. She said that I also had a past life at the time of Jesus. That didn't really resonate with me very much. I don't remember that. I've never dreamt about it, so I can't verify that. That's just what she's told me. She had told me also that I had that dream, that this was before I moved to the Southwest. I was on the East Coast, and she had told me that I was a Native American dancer and lived out in the Southwest. That resonated deep within my soul. Like, I feel that to my core, just like I feel that in my core that I lived in India probably many, many times. I've had many lives in India. I really want to play with this deck again because there's some really great spreads. And the information in this book, I don't know if you can still purchase this, but it gives you like the symbol, the place, the time, the groups, and then conclusion. So it gives you so much. And then, so you have a full picture. And then we also have the symbol, the place, time, groups, language groups, appearance, traits, conclusion. And then we have this great phoenix. So this is wonderful. This book there's so much information, and then there's spreads. Let's see. There's not many cards, but the information given is so inclusive. So then we have a summary. So for Zen Buddhist design, key phrase, nothing is greater or less than I. Place China, Japan, and India. And then this was 483 BC to the present. Ruling planets, Neptune and Jupiter. The receptive mind and linear thought is the rules, and then traits. So I think that's wonderful that it breaks down. You can come here and just do a quick glance if you don't want to read all of that. So this is the past life mandala spread. So we have Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto. And then it goes through and gives you all the different positions and what you get and what that means. So this book is phenomenal. And like I said, I haven't played with it in probably 15 years. So now that I pulled this out for this video, I really, really want to play with this again and see what comes up. And then there's some Q&As as well, like that you don't have to believe in reincarnation or past lives. You know, that's fine. You can still use the cards. And then there's great sources. So where they came up with the images. So if this is still available to purchase, I do recommend it. It's great. But again, you don't have to use these cards to do past life, to look into your past lives. It's really just, what do you have an affinity for? Like, I knew I had an affinity for Hinduism and the Hindu goddesses and Indian culture and Indian dance, clothes, all of it. I had a past life in Paris, France. I worked in textiles, like in the 1800s. I love fashion. I love clothes. I love textiles. Like, I love colors. I also had a past life, like, and this is very real for me. I am terrified of driving up mountains because I always feel like my car is going to slide backwards. And it's happened to me. It has happened to me in real life a few times where I'm driving and my car loses traction on the ice and the snow and I slide back. And it's happened with me not in the car as well, like where I've parked the car on a hill and then the car has, even with the emergency brake on, slid down. That's not fun to go be like, where's my car? Luckily it was Vermont, and you know, there was nobody else on the road. But anyway, I say I have this fear, like I have anxiety. When we used to drive up to my grandmother's house, there was this really sharp, like, you go up the hill and then you turn and you see the valley. It used to scare me so bad. And it's because I had been an opera singer and I was traveling with my caravan. We were in a horse and buggy and we were going to our next, you know, gig, whatever. And the horse and buggy, my carriage, it went over a cliff. So that past life is still definitely heavily influencing me to this day because I am terrified of cliffs, of mountains. Like, I could never live in Colorado with all the mountains. We drove through Colorado. We went up to Denver and I was terrified. Like, I was so scared. I do prefer living in the Southwest, and I, you know, probably would prefer like the plains because I like flat surfaces. Do you guys know any of your past lives? Do you remember any of them? Let me know in the comments what your favorite past life was or most traumatic. Most people either know like their favorite or their most traumatic. I mean, obviously most of those past lives that I've shared with you have all had some trauma, well, lots of trauma. So I think that the traumatic aspects of it, well, in Paris, France, I don't really remember anything traumatic happening there when I worked in textiles, but maybe there was and I don't remember it. It hasn't been exposed to me yet, but I don't know what I would say my favorite life was. I just know that in this life, I feel the most pulled to Lemuria and India. All right, art gallery, a deck with your favorite art style. This was another deck that I bought on a whim. I was in Vision Quest in Phoenix and I was getting my aura photo taken and I saw this deck. It had been a special order and the person never came to pick it up. Lucky for me, they sold it to me. They were like, they had, you know, I don't know, 48 hours or something to come pick up the deck. They had contacted them and they never came. Now, these are paintings from a bunch of different artists, but I would never know that because I feel like it's a cohesive deck. This artwork and these pictures that they picked for this Divine Circus by Alana Fairchild, this is one of my favorite oracle decks. I love these paintings and then the keywords that go with it. Tiger Angel, like I love that. That kind of goes with what I was talking about. And I think I purchased this also around the time that I had read Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern or Stern. And that book is what got me back into reading fiction. Up until that point, I was really only reading nonfiction. And fiction wasn't really my thing, especially fantasy. Like, I wasn't a big fan of fantasy. But I read that book and I just was in love with that world. So this deck just found me at the right place at the right time. Again, I hadn't seen any of the images but I think these are beautiful. I absolutely love the artwork. I love the book. The book is great. Look at the backs of the big tent. So you have just a little black and white photo, and then it just talks about the card, healing trick, and then it gives you an affirmation. And then it, you know, tells you who did the artwork. So I think they did a really great job compiling the artwork, and the book is excellent. I think they've reissued this. It looks a little different, but I love my copy. I don't feel like I need the reissue. Some decks you're like, oh, I want the reissue because they make it borderless, or they provide a better book or whatever. But yeah, I think the book is perfect and the artwork is stunningly beautiful. I had one other deck I was going to show y'all that it's not my favorite art style, but it feels, the deck feels like it should be in an art museum. And the cards were created by the artist, did oil paintings and then created them into the deck, which is what my husband did with his Lenormand. All right, so that would be the Mystical Tarot. This deck looks like it should be in a fine art museum. It looks to me like medieval, but then it's very surreal at the same time. Like, if I didn't know that this was an older deck, I would think that this was like AI generated. It's weird that surrealist art, it looks kind of AI generated, right? But these were painted. I really need to use this deck. This is another deck that I purchased, and I haven't really used the colors. Use like the gold here and the greens and the sky. Like, the details are beautiful, and they really do. They look like paintings that you would find in an art museum. So even though this isn't like my favorite art style, I appreciate the artwork. I appreciate the attention to detail. Like, look at this cloud. You have the face in this cloud. It's a very traditional looking deck, but then with pops of like, okay, it's new. So those are the backs, the gold and the brown. So, but this is why I'm trying to work with a different deck every week, because I need to actually use the decks that I purchased. Now we are off to the hair salon, and this is a deck that wants you to be your best self. And I picked the Oracle of the Mermaids by Lucy Cavendish because this deck is absolutely stunningly beautiful. It's just really beautiful. These are the backs to look at these cards. And the book is wonderful. The book is, it says divination and gives reverse, but really this book is about journaling and self-reflection and getting a better understanding of yourself with the messages. So how, like, you know, yeah, our self is like, we're not always beautiful, but I feel like if you are being self-reflective and working on yourself, it creates inner beauty and inner strength that just makes you more beautiful. See, I love this, like, the true love make my soul sing spread. Like, if you know, building up your inner confidence, your inner self-worth makes you more beautiful on the outside. So this is my pick for hair salon. And look at these both mermaids. I mean, come on. They have gorgeous hair. I wish my hair was that pretty. But your hair does tend to look, I think my hair looks really pretty after, you know, getting it wet in salt water. It just does, salt water does wonders for your hair, your skin, just healing everything. All right, we're on our last stop. This is the toy shop, a deck you're going to play with or use next. So this is a deck that's new for me. I did an unboxing. I haven't even looked at all the cards yet. This is the Sacred She Tarot. So I haven't even flipped through all of the cards yet, but what I've seen, I absolutely love. The artwork is stunningly beautiful. This is one of my favorite cards. Keywords have changed, but to me it makes sense. I love this artwork. The keywords just really make sense to me. Instead of strength, we have compassion, another card that I absolutely love. This Wisdom Keeper card is gorgeous. I love this Mother Nature. We have Gaia here. Oh, Camille. So we've got beginning. We've got this beautiful scene. So I'm really looking forward to working with this deck. This beautiful, beautiful deck. Ah, look at this. Another deck card right up my alley. Dance. So I had posted a poll on my... I've posted 2 polls. One poll was, you know, what videos do you all want to see? And the consensus was y'all want VRs. So I'm trying to do VRs, but there will be some flip throughs because I personally like doing flip throughs as well. And then also unboxings. So I'll continue to like look for fun VRs to do. And trying to show like different cards. It's so easy though to get into showing the same decks because we get like excited about like a deck, right? And then it shows up in every video, but I'm trying to show, you know, go into my archive and be like, okay, I know I haven't used this deck in a minute, but let me show it off. I've been reading cards for so long that some of my decks are pretty old. And then I also posted a poll about if you are a tarot and oracle reader or into crystals or into any type of spirituality, were you a raver or party kid? Were you into plur or even just into like going out dancing all night under the moonlight like me? Because I don't know, I just seem to see a lot of people like, I used to enjoy watching this one astrologer until it became apparent that he's very into his toxic masculinity. So I'm not going to name him, but like he is a DJ and an astrologer and tarot oracle reading, and then DJ a set, do another reading, have someone else come on do a reading, and then he would talk about the astrology. And it used to be so fun. He was a raver, you know, obviously as a DJ, and he does astrology and tarot and oracle readings. And I was into that scene, and you know, I remember like dancing, and I would just dance for so long and so hard that I would literally dance myself into a trance, and that was like my meditation. And I feel like it kind of helped me step out and away from conformity and away from organized religion and into and onto a spiritual path. Because, you know, granted, college also helps you do that, where you get to study other religions and you're around people from other cultures, was really important to me. It was really eye-opening as well. So I was just wondering like how many other people, but so far the response has been no, nobody else has been, but that's cool too if you weren't. I just, for my own curiosity, I was just wondering. It seems like a connection in my mind. Thank you so much for watching. Have fun. Keep on shuffling. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and leave a dancing emoji in the comments down below to let me know that you made it to the end. I'll see you next time. Take care. Have fun. Bye, y'all.